Hello everyone and welcome back to Ash of God's Redemption, and let's just continue where we left off. Okay. A scared young lad walks down the road. He introduces himself as Clemens. He's been hiding in the bush from a band of Enses, which left the thoroughfare and turned on a seldomly used path. Luckily, the path leads to a long-abandoned village, so the abominations won't hurt anyone. It seems like you can catch up to the Enses if you want to. Clemens praises the gods for delivering him from peril and bids you farewell. The prospect of ridding Berkana of a band of brutes is enticing, but should you risk fighting for such elusive gain? Don't know. I feel like that would be pointless. I mean, sure, we would be getting experience, but at the same time, we don't really have time to lose right now. So forget it and move on. I guess we're going that way. Coal Burners Clearing. Hello, watermen here. This lake in the heart of the Vandal Forest is well known, but nobody knows why the ruins on the little island in its center are called the Temple of the Water Menhir. There are plenty of rocks jutting out from the surface, but not one of them looks like a menhir. These lands have become a home for bandits, but there hadn't been any pilgrims here, even in safer times. Score leaps off his mount, grabs the reins and grumbles. Where is this menhir? From what I've heard, it's supposed to be on an island, but all I see are ruins. Take a look at the one that you walked on to get onto the island, sir. Do we have to grope every stone now? I'm not going into the water. I cannot swim, and I hate it when it's wet. Okay. Still grumbling, Score steps onto the bridge, slips on the wet moss, and all but falls into a mud hole. Instead of swearing, he lets out a cry of joy. It's under our feet, and it's clean. I stepped on it, and I didn't die. Just felt better. You let out a sigh of relief. Gods be praised, but why is it clean? Could running water be washing away the taint? In any case, we should not linger, but we will have a short rest on the island. Bring in the horses, stay together and keep your senses sharp. No yelling. Sound travels far along water. I guess we'll do that. Urge your companions to touch the menhir. You and your companions grope underwater for the cold menhir. When you touch it, relief washes over you, taking away all your pain and worries. By the looks on your companions' faces, they are experiencing the same feeling. Once on the island, Gleda calls out, Dad, look! There's a fresh grave, but there's no name. Only this slab of stone from the ruins. There is something inscribed on it. You will not keep misfortune away. What could it mean? I wonder, is that Rusk? Oh boy. So, is that him now? The, man previously known as Drukit? You wonder about this too, but not for long, as you hear branches crunching. Mabok, the leader of the cannibals, emerges out of the wood, panting. As you reach for your weapon, Mabok puts his hands in the air and cries out in pure Berkanan. Thorn, wait! Listen to me first! Macht steps forward. Father, I can't explain it, but he sounds like Drukit. He's not at all like Mabok. Oddly enough, the cannibal vaguely resembles Drukit in both manner and speech. If it is still Mabok, something incredible has happened to him. You decide to let the vandal speak, luring him closer. You do not want to have to chase him through the forest. What do you want, cannibal? Why are you tailing us? You've been following us from the White Tower. Are you hungry? How about a taste of steel? Brett, do you remember what Drukit said? Open the locket. Don't take it off, just look inside. You'll find a portrait and a name. Elsker. That's right. That's my mother's name and portrait. Where did Drukit get this locket? And how did you learn of it? No time to explain. You don't need to know everything for your own safety. I will tell you one thing, though. Don't remove the locket. It can protect you. As for the knife, you'll have to surrender it to me. It is not for you to wield. So you're not a cannibal. Who are you then? Trust me, the Mabok that was taunting you no longer exists. All that's left is this monstrous vessel before you. It serves Drukit's sorcery. I bet that the Mabok of the White Tower has never heard of Brett's mother. It's hard to imagine sorcery that does not die with the sorcerer, but nobody knew my mother's real name apart from herself, myself, and my father, whom I never got to meet. What do you know about Brett's father? I know quite a bit. Brett himself knows bits and pieces. His father always remembered his son and the woman who had borne him. Brett's desire to meet him equaled his father's pain of not being able to let it happen. This is true. I always had help, though it came in secret, through other people. It didn't make my mother's tears any sweeter, though. Who was threatening him? Your father was a peculiar man. He had and still has peculiar enemies. They hunt people like you because they don't want your father's kind to leave offspring. These are deadly foes. You know them as the Reapers. Whoa, as if the reaping led by the same Reapers, from what I understand, wasn't bad enough. I'm getting my own private reaping? Is there anything else Brett should know? You cannot go past the water Menhir. This is the only place where you can cleanse yourself from the abominable sorcery that saturates the woods. You can catch your breath here, but you need to get to Opacum quickly. It's a clean place there. Everything shall be decided. For now, just toss me the knife. Wait, what shall be decided in Opacum? You can't be talking about the war. We are no army. What can we do? Why do I have a feeling that something is driving me and my daughter to Opacum? Sometimes one man is worth an entire army. There must be a reason why the Reapers are hunting down the progeny of Drukit and his kind. You should go to Opacum. I'll surely come too, or send someone in my stead, as Drukit did. Some battles cannot be avoided. Well, what do you think? Macht grabs you by the shoulder and forces you to face him. Father, you might not believe me, but it really is Drukit. I swear it's him. Ask him about the things Drukit told you. I think you chomped up my arm, Vandal, but I'll ask you anyway. My mentor, Drukit, he once told me to ask questions when in doubt. Why do you think he'd tell me that? If you ask a question, you might receive an answer. If not, you get nothing. And trust me, I did not chomp up on your arm. Father, I'll be damned, but I think it really is Drukit. Suddenly, Mabok falters, and you feel a strange numbness creeping over you. Your throat becomes dry in a flash. It feels very much like the spring equinox in the Albius city square. A silhouette appears before you. You see, I needed some peace and quiet to do my work. Pilgrims rarely visit this place, and then I ran into you. What are you doing here? What business of yours is that? Are you like Adna, perhaps? Exterminating Umbra seeds so they don't disperse? What are you plotting this time? You wouldn't understand, Karbath. What kind of Umbra are you? A reveler and a wastrel, a lover of humans. I know all about you, Drewer, Drukit, now a vandal oaf with blood-crusted lips. Are you not sick of dressing up? No, I'm more interested in your companion. What do you want from me? What if I tell you that you are a plaything of fate? What if I tell you that you were bred for the reaping? What if I tell you that your entire life has been a prelude to our meeting? Were you perhaps thinking the reaping had begun in Albius by accident? You cannot trust him, Thorn. He has a deft tongue that blends truth with lies. Even those who read your past like an open book cannot know the future. Hey. Who are you, stranger? Don't you realize yet, soldier? Or have your undergarments not yet glued to your skin with sweat? If not, ask your black-skinned friend. I've been meaning to ask, Karbath, have you ever inhabited a woman's body? Thorn, this is Nakoma. Adept at nasty tricks and a master of torture. Sometimes he looks different. Then he is called a reaper. One of the reapers. What do you want from our land? This land is no longer yours, and hasn't been for a while. Soon you will see for yourself. Don't worry, there is room for your bones in it. Don't you know? The ampler the reaping, the richer the fields. Leave them alone, Atrak. You gave out my name, I'm giving out yours. If you meant to kill them, you would already have done it. So do not mock us any further. I cannot afford to spend time on small talk right now. He will not leave until he gets what he wants. What do you want, Atrak? As if you don't know what I normally want from mortals. The pain, the grief, the unbearable suffering. Their suffering. But this time, I don't want anything from these people. Quite the opposite. I mean them well. What do you say, Captain? Will you accept a kind deed from me? Definitely inclined to choose the second one. But then again, maybe I shouldn't anger him. Fine, I don't see why I shouldn't accept a kind deed from a good man. Karbath was not joking. I am not a man, and definitely not a good one. However, I do want to do something good, or at least bring you good news. Your daughter has been called for a higher purpose, Captain. She could be the chosen one, a vessel that would serve to awaken divinity. Hey. My daughter is not a crock. Even if some divine cock thinks differently, do her wishes even matter? Did your wishes matter when your wife died, Captain? If mortals were granted their wishes, the world would plunge into chaos and drown in blood. Wait for the sign, young lady, though luck may not yet find you after all. You have a strange concept of luck. Mark my words, I will be the master of my own fate. I can decide for myself whether I want to be someone's vessel or not. You can kill me, but you cannot force me. You amuse me, girl. You have yet to learn that a pheasant's talons and the color of his plumage mean nothing when he's brought to the kitchen. It's still a long way to the kitchen, I admit. We'll see what you're capable of, and you, Mabok, freeze. This is not your game, so don't meddle in it. Mabok freezes again, tries to move and finds himself unable to lift a finger. In a hoarse voice, he whispers, "Only Opacum can save you. Only Opacum." You grab your sword and watch in horror as Nakoma vanishes into thin air and a band of Gels emerges out of the fir wood. You have no choice but to stand your ground. To arms, you are under attack. Let's start. I guess you can't reach that. Let's do someone else then. Let's get some retaliation going. And bam! Well done, Flit. And your turn, Brett. Awesome. Alright. Death to you, sir. Not surprised. There we go. You'll regret that. Or, well, if you hadn't pushed him away, you would have regretted it. Alright. We can't get Brennan into a good spot there, really. Yeah, let's do that. Alright. That should work. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. You get your buffs. Let's take out these people that haven't acted yet. Or at least one of them. There we go. Alright then, Brett. Finish this. Awesome. Ooh, nice. The battle is over. The Gel's corpses are drifting in the lake like gruesome floats. Water rinses the blood off the bridge. You wipe your blade with a cloth and turn around. Let's leave this cursed place. Be quick. Mabok, what's wrong? Mabok shakes his head and makes a gesture of resignation. Nothing. I'm leaving. I don't wish to draw further perils toward you. You should leave too. They'll reach you anywhere except Opacum. You lock gazes with your daughter, who looks strangely numb. Gleda, what's wrong? We're in a hurry. Gleda looks you in the eyes. What if it's an evil force that drives us toward Opacum? Maybe it's not salvation that waits for us there, but more perils. Whatever it is, we need to get into that fortress, you say with great irritation. We leave immediately. Saddle the horses.
The fallen can't be blamed, nor the victors forgiven. Shadow Clan's code for warriors of peace.
Okay. Guess we're back with Lo Feng. The long journey is nearly at an end. You can already see the Opacum Menhir towering above the treetops like a black tooth. The Frisian legions halt and start to arrange themselves into battle formation. You take note of the temple warriors standing apart from the Frisian army, engineers starting to assemble their mechanisms, and slaves driven to the walls of Opacum for reasons unknown. Pelko Soturi awkwardly slips off his steed. Hey, Akon, do you want your name written into Frisia's Book of Glory? Come on then, you and I will get the keys to Opacum. I guess remain impassive. You stay where you are. Your companions overheard the conversation, and a fussy guard to a fussy commander is unseemly. Appalled, the Count spits into the dust. You get the feeling that he hasn't tortured you to death only because he still needs you. He's probably not going to Opacum of his own accord. You regard the convoy of emaciated prisoners. The strange temple servant named Nakoma kept close to them for the whole journey. Could he be the source of the terror consuming your client? Your several-week journey from the Triple Menhir to Opacum was filled with sweat, dust, and gloomy, silent companions, but they all made it here safely, some even more well-fed than before. They kept away from the prisoners, though. The Count is going into the fortress for a parley. We are to accompany him and protect him from the Birkins. What? Does he fancy himself a god? Does he think the Birkins will lay treasure at his feet and kiss his boots? Then he's raving mad. There's a first time for everything. Impregnable fortresses fall. Overconfident envoys are ambushed. Commanders go mad. We'll see what happens. I feel like saying that one, Pelko Soturi won't go willingly to his death. Either that or that. Let's go for that one. I'd happily crush him myself and save us a lot of time. You know, as dumb as he is, he probably has no idea what he's in for. Whatever happens, be ready to set out. No time for last-minute dashes to the baggage train.
A pearl grows to protect the oyster from dirt. Doesn't the dream of freedom do the same thing in the soul of a slave?
Interesting. Okay, I am going to end this episode here. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider leaving a like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!